Alright, so nagbabalik tayo sa ating violin tips and tricks. And for today's video, let's talk about the differences and similarities of playing by yourself, no, solo, and with an orchestra. So, musicians of at least 50 to 60 people. Ano ba yung experience of how you need to act or what roles you need to play versus playing solo. So, in a previous video, we discussed playing solo and with a small group. No? Sabi nga natin, around maximum of like 15 to 20 people. No? Siyempre, yung roles natin doon would differ. No? So, sabi natin, with a solo performance, you could have a lot of creative freedom and really do whatever you need in order for you to perform at your best. Now, when it comes to having an orchestra kasi, you don't have that freedom, no. I'm not saying you will be limited by much, but because in an orchestra setting, no, you are part of a group. You are actually an instrument. You're not playing as a musician. In itself, instrument ka ng conductor. So, the conductor dictates the interpretation of the piece, the way it's played, ano yung mga gusto niyang mangyari, articulation, no? Volume, dynamics, everything is being dictated by the conductor. And your role as an orchestra musician is to follow what the conductor tells you, no? So minsan magkakaroon kayo ng mga conflict when it comes to interpretation, pero you can't really impose yourself. When you are in an orchestra, the conductor is your boss. So hindi ka pwedeng magpilit, no, na yung sa'yo yung masusunod, no? Especially as a string player, you're playing with, let's say, 10 to 15 persons in your own section, plus let's say another 10 to 15 for the whole string. So that's like around 60 people. Hindi pwedeng i-insist mo yung gusto mo lang, no? So you will lack that freedom to create your own, but you still have this role in order for you to really perform at your best, no? Hindi ka pwedeng basta-basta na lang. And that's the thing, no? In an orchestra setting kasi, you are an instrument of the conductor nga, sabi nga natin. So, iisipin mo not only yourself, but also your group, no? If you are the principal of your group, isipin mo din kung kaya nilang magawa as much as you can the interpretation of your conductor. So, medyo limited ka dun sa kung ano yung gustong pagawa sa'yo ng conductor. It doesn't mean naman na hindi ka tutugtog ng maayos, but you have to have the same mindset as your conductor. So, for example, if the conductor wants a certain articulation, you have to come up with a way that everyone in your section could also play in that same articulation. Versus playing solo, kung ano yung maisip mo articulation na sa tingin mo okay naman, bagay doon sa gagawin mo, ikaw lang yung iisipin mo, no? Na you don't have that burden of trying to tell everyone na, oh, ito yung kailangan natin gawin and how you could actually achieve that. So, actually, nakakatulong din when you're playing in an orchestra, especially if you lead one, no? If you're a section leader, that you understand how your instrument works. Para kasi kailangan mo din magturo in a sense, no? So, kapag ikaw yung section leader, you have to tell them, oh, this is where we'll play it, a certain section, no? Kung ano yung gagamitin nating stroke, ano yung saan tayo part ng bow tutugtog, saan part ng instrument. So, mga ganon, iisipin mo. Now, if you are not the leader, of course, you still have to understand what your section leader is telling you. Siyempre, susundin mo din siya, no? But it doesn't diminish the fact that your role is still as important, even if you're playing solo. Sabi nga natin, kahit sa chamber music naman, kapag yung isa nawala, everything falls apart, no? The same thing happens to an orchestra. Now, your impact will still be great, no? But sometimes, yun nga, mafe-feel mo na, kahit di ako tumugtog, okay lang. Pero it's really not a good mindset to take in, no? Kasi sa orchestra, kahit na there's 100 people playing, if one doesn't play as with their best effort, syempre hindi magiging maganda yung performance, no? Na my college professor always tells us yung about synergy, no? So kapag maganda yung playing, ng lahat, mas gumaganda yung sound na lumalabas. Ngayon, kapag yung isa sa tao sa mga sections nyo ay hindi nagbibigay ng 100% nila, for example, or they did not know their parts very well, nagugulo rin yung imbis na gumanda or lumakas yung sound or maging mas energetic or full of life, it goes down. No? So, all your actions, all the things that you are playing as an orchestra member, whether you're at the front of the stands or at the back, is important. No? So, huwag niyo lang kakalimutan. Hindi porket, nasa last stand ako, chill na lang ako. Hindi pwedeng gano'n. No? So, you also have to understand na you play an integral part. It's just that your impact cannot be really seen agad. But kapag nawala ka or hindi ka naging part nun, the orchestra will suffer. So, yun yung importante. So, you have to think a lot about the other people around you, not just yourself. So, yung iba, nag-enjoy talaga sila to be soloists, no? And some people enjoy being in an orchestra, no? So, sa mga wind players kasi usually, isa-isa lang din, no? One per section, no? One oboe 1, one oboe 2, so ganon. So, sila, meron pa rin silang liberties to play their solos. But again, they still have to rely on what the conductor wants. So, your conductor will decide on interpretation, no? Sometimes technique, may mga times kasi na may gusto silang palabasin na sound na it might be hard for you, so they also suggest techniques, no? So being a conductor, you control the whole orchestra, no? So sa chamber kasi meron pa rin kayong individual liberties that you can take, no? Yung creative freedom nyo na bawat isa na you share your ideas and to completely make a nice combination of all your ideas. Now, sa orchestra, yung conductor lahat magde-decide. No? Sa solo, you decide it on your own. No? Or what your teacher tells you to do, ikaw na yung gagawa nun. No? So, yun yung mga, I think that's the main differences of having a small group, a large group, and playing solo. Now, similarities naman is, of course, you still have to give 100% kung ano man yung ginagawa mo, whether you're playing solo, whether you're playing with a group. Hindi pwedeng, may kasama na ako sa grupo. Especially, pag sa orchestra, di ba nga? Let's say, sa violins, let's say, 15 kayo. Sabi mo, asa na lang ako sa standmate ko, asa na lang ako sa principals ko. No? You still have to give your best. Kasi nga, yun, it will fall apart if you don't. No? So, you're still giving a lot more, no? It's actually pretty mentally tasking yung pag-play sa orchestra. Kasi, you have to look at your conductor, you also have to look at the score, you have to look at other people, you have to listen to everything that's happening, no? Plus, you have to account for bowings, account for dynamics. Hindi pwede yung forte mo sa solo, gagawin mo sa orchestra. Kasi, you are in a section. Hindi pwedeng yung sobrang lakas, no? Kasi kailangan pantay-pantay yung sound ng whole section. Sa chamber naman, ganoon din. You also have to think about the projection of the other instruments you're with, no? Kung kasing lakas ba, or mas malakas ka ba sa kanila, mas mahina ka ba. Sa solo kasi hindi mo iisipin yun, no? So yun, the larger the group, as I've said, the more intricate it needs to be, the more organized it needs to be, no? Sa solo kasi pwede kang mag-improvise, no? Whether you're playing pop, you're playing, unaccompanied pieces, no? You're playing a Bach sonata, and sa chamber naman, if you're playing with a string quartet, playing with a band, whatever setup that may be. Sa orchestra, if you're playing pop songs, if you're playing classical music, lahat yun may mga kanya-kanyang slight nuances that you need to understand. Na iba-iba yung styles of playing with each one, no? Iba-iba yung character na kailangan mong palabasin, no? Sometimes you have to blend in, no? Sometimes you have to stand out, no? May mga times na ganun. So, to be versatile enough to be a solo player, a chamber musician, and an orchestra musician, you have to, I think you just have to be able to adjust with what is needed from you, and you also have to listen in order for you to be able to grow and enjoy making music with other people and on your own. Yan. So, wala namang masama kung enjoy ka sa solo, wala rin masama kung gusto mo may kasama ka na group, play chamber music, and wala rin masama kung magpe-play ka with orchestra. If you can do all three, and you become a well-rounded musician. Magagamit mo lahat ng mga experience mo dun in all types of music that you play. Ayan. Sana nakatulong tong video na to. If it did, please do drop a like, comment down below more content you'd like to see, and of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on all my socials. All links you need down in the description box below. This has been Ryan Monakil for Violin Tips and Tricks, and I'll see you on the next video.